Firstly, before you ever come to this place, make sure you're prepared for pain. What's up? How you guys doing? My name is... Today we're going to be going over to one of the coveted spots called Ash Forest. First, as usual, the gear requirements here are going to be 289 AP and 371 DP. Is it possible to come here a little bit earlier, especially on some broken, busted meta driving classes? Absolutely. But for a personal recommendation, you actually shouldn't even be coming here to at least 301 AP and around 390-ish DP. But that is just my personal recommendation. Food for thought. Make it a pizza. Now for elixirs and buffs, what you want to be running here. If you're on the lower end of that gear spectrum, definitely start out with a full elixir rotation. As you get more gear, then you can taper off and use Frenzy and Corrupted Frenzy. And when you be hella geared and used to this spot, then you can use a Giant's Draft. Calx Elixir will also be very useful here for quite a while for that extra resistance and tankiness. You do need some bit of accuracy here, so make sure you're using an Exquisite Cron Meal for that special attack damage and accuracy. 10 buffs, of course, very standard. Your Church, AP, and Defensive. You shouldn't need accuracy furniture here, but just in case if you do find yourself missing, that is a possibility along with AP furniture. Rock Dollar Horse Gear, if you have that, is a blessing. You should use it everywhere. If you don't have it, go get it. Just go get it. It's easy, especially the wind set. Then, of course, your choice of using Vel to maintain your AP bracket or Perla Star for a little bit of extra survivability. Now for your crystals, let us talk about the crystals. You need, I repeat, you need adamantines. You want full 100% KD resistance here. Especially if you're on that lower end of gear, they're going to put you on the ground and you're going to get deleted. Hey, you'll get this is actually relatively easy. You'll use 2 base green adamantines. Don't bother getting the expensive ones here. You're probably going to die a bit. 2 black magic crystal intimidations, and your Calx Elixir should provide the rest. 2 Elcars and 2 Jin or Bon Wan for the accuracy. Then your standard damaging crystals, 2 Dark Fangs, 2 Corrupteds, 2 Ancient Powers, and 2 Akrods if you have them because you have a Gama. With this, you're basically ready to start grinding Ash Forest. Congrats. I'll be leaving the rotations in the background as I explain the last final piece of your artifacts and lightstones. If you have a lower accuracy class and you find yourself still missing for your artifacts, go with the accuracy. And if not, go with that damage. Hell yeah. If you're on the lower end of gear score, you can also choose the defensive set by going DR or evasion. For your offensive lightstones, you can choose Death Blow if you can't maintain 100% crit, or Vicious Shadows if you can. If you have neither of these, also Wild Sylvia is another good damage dealer. For defensive, you can go Rigid Evasion, which is the 4-set Iron Walls, or Untouchable for evasion. We definitely don't want to run bluer here for evasion as we need those resistances. We don't want you going splat and then never coming back to Ash Forest. You definitely want to continue with the pain. Yes, smile. Now, why come to Ash Forest, you may ask? Well, there's at least a couple of reasons, but it's definitely not silver, I can tell you that. Of course, there's the whole thing where you could be coming here for your Devarekas to hopefully enhance, and I mean, that's a slippery slope. We won't get into that. That tells you one of the first things you can get here, the Devareca necklace. You can get it as a raw drop and as a gaze. The raw drop, unfortunately, is hella more rare, but if you get the gaze, it's not very hard to construct. You'll need 2 Ancient Power red shards that you can get from Akhman and Hystria, along with 2 Ancient Seal black shards that you can get from Underwater Sakraya. Combine these 4 stones with the gaze that you got from Ash Forest in your manufacturing tab, and voila, Debo. The other rare item being hit is also the Rich Merchant Ring Piece, which is 1 of 5 if you ever plan to go for it. As for the trash, just starting out here at lower gear score, you're going to want to push for at least 2k plus on a blue loot scroll, eventually working your way up to about 4 to 4.5k. That's on the higher end, of course, no pressure. Now, there are 2 main methods that we'll want to talk about when grinding Ash Forest, and they both serve different purposes. An interesting little fact before that, though, a little bit if you're into lore, Ash Forest is actually a bunch of shies. So you might say Ash Forest is kind of like their proverbial resting place? Or at least now it is. First, every one of these seeds that you see around as your landmarkers for your rotation will always have a Barnus attached. Barnus is this green aura floating mob with like a lamp kind of attached. You want to hit him first, as this will aggro more Volcrus and make them known in the area. These guys are the main reason we have that 100% KD resistance. They will knock you. Yes. While they're starting to aggro to you, go back and hit the main seed where you are at. This will summon a bunch of little mobs called Gairas. Do be very mindful, because if a lot of these guys stack up on you, they do damage real quick. Now you have max mobs aggro as possible. Return to the Barnus, the green floaty dude. You want to delete him first because he is your main problem child. After a couple animations, he will release an AoE that will slow you and make your grind a lot more difficult. Getting rid of him before that happens is definitely ideal. Once he is gone, the other mobs will still be aggro to you and continue to grind them down. If you notice there are like 3 or 4 left over or something of the little guys, just leave. Don't worry about staying, you're just going to be losing grind time and efficiency. Some teams you will notice will actually have 2 bar nests relatively close, and you can actually aggro both individually. The same method still applies, and make sure to target them first. Then you simply move on to the next seed in sequence and repeat. The main reason people usually choose this method is for more chance drops at the Deboreka and also more trash per hour. There could be a little bit of a debate depending on class, which method could be more efficient for trash, but this one I still tend to get more on. Now for the second method. This way of grinding is more suited if you want to get the rich merchant's ring piece. The idea behind it is to be focusing more on the Volcrus and Barnas, which have a higher drop chance percentage. The idea is the exact same as the first method, except you never hit the seeds. You want to hit multiple Barnas close in proximity in order to summon as many Volcrus as possible. You would DPS those mobs and then move along to the next seed. This is just to make sure you're getting as many Volcrus as possible. Do not try this method at the second rotation, as you'll run out very quickly and overclear. For the first and main rotation that I showed earlier, there is actually 2 extensions. The first is right after the second seed. It would be right on your direct left before you go down the hill. This can be used just as like a little proxy if you find yourself overgrinding slightly and you want to go hit that seed and kill some extra mobs. The other extension is actually right before the last seed up the hill and to the left. It's kind of covered by a little bit by some trees, but you'll find it, no worries. And that is it for the in-depth guide for Ash Forest. There's no other fancy mechanics or nothing else you need to know. You simply just need to go to the spot and grind it out. The reason why I mentioned pain at the beginning of the video is because on average, they say it's 1 in 4, but mine was like 1 in 9. 1 in 9 hours to get a Devo. So it really depends on how good your RNG is. Cron every single attempt, no matter what step of the way is pry, it doesn't matter the percentage, you do not want to lose those Devo necks carelessly. Thank you all for watching my video, and hopefully this did help you with your grind in Ash Forest. If this video was useful to you and you got some good information out of it, please do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It majorly helps me out. I hope that you all have a solid rest of your day, and until next time guys, Crimson out.